There is a great day ahead. The SEC appeal has been thrown out, and Brad Garlinghouse is speaking to the XRP community. I'll play this video now. It's 4 minutes long. Let's pay attention. Many of you know that the US SEC sued Ripple a little more than 4 years ago. I'm finally able to say that this case is over. It's over. Today, as I think back to 4 years ago, it's very clear to me that this case was doomed from the start. It was the first big shot in the war on crypto in a lot of ways. I was sure at that point that Ripple was not only following the law but also going to be shown to be following the right path in history. Really think sends a bad message for new ideas in the US related to Bitcoin. The US government shouldn't be picking winners all the time. The judge seems to know that this is about more than just Ripple. This will have effects on more than one thing. Mary Jo White, who used to be head of the SEC, has said in public that she thinks this is terrible. I think he made a terrible choice. But Ripple is the first company with the money, willpower, and guts to stand up to the government's abuse. Today is the last day of this trip. It was a long time coming, but the SEC finally gave up. The SEC went after the whole business with the same arguments they used against us when Chairman Gary Gensler was in charge. They were not trying to keep clients safe. They wanted to scare and threaten the regulator, whose job it is to protect investors. The regulator went all in on a case that had no victims and hurt innocent XRP investors by $15 billion. The SEC messed with the market. The SEC wasn't looking for justice. They were ready to pay anything to win the case. The SEC and some people in our government worked together to start a campaign against debanking. Anyone who works in the crypto business, we were at war with the law, or lawfare. Luckily, the judge scolded the SEC more than once along the way. First, because it doesn't have a quote loyalty to the law. The SEC got in trouble for discovery abuses in our case. This trend showed up in other crypto cases as well. Well, let's say they want to make you confused. That's when we proved that XRP is not a security by winning every important law point. That is now the law. And these wins have made it possible for lawmakers to make crypto rules that are in line with securities laws that have been around for almost 100 years. The news today shows that those who tried to get our government to fight a technology and an entire business have lost. I'm glad that we've shown others in the business how important it is to not give up, and I hope that they will use our legal strategy to fight back. We are now ending a part of the past of crypto. I believe we are all better for our previous court victories and today's historic win. You should fight for progress. We won a lot of elections last year that were pro-crypto. The US should become the world's crypto capital. We are lucky to have new leaders in both the executive and legislative parts of our government. That group's leaders are constantly looking for a sensible and helpful way to move crypto forward. Let's use this to our advantage. At this very moment, things look very good. Let's get together. Let's cut ties with our groups. Let me explain it better. Today, my main message and Ripple's major message are both about being thankful. We're thankful to everyone who helped us, including all of the people who work at Ripple, and to Stu Alderode, who is the best chief law officer in the business. Thanks to everyone in the XRP family, our customers and our friends. Thanks. You all had to be behind us and work together for us to win this fight. It looks like everyone agrees that the biggest accounting firm in the world has finally taken a pro-crypto and pro-innovation stance, which means that this technology can be used to solve real-world problems for people all over the world. We knew we had to win this fight, even though Ripple didn't want to. And today, without a doubt, we have. Thanks. Thanks, right? Thank you to the XRP army for always being strong and helping the environment. You never gave up even when a lot of other people did. I admire you. Thanks. Okay. After that, I love this man. Take a look. Dave and Brad are here. Let's go. Look at it again. Yes. Oh man. Fun times. Fun times. Okay. Finally, here is Brad on stage at the 2025 Digital Asset Summit. Pay attention. Last night, just before we came up here, I posted on X that we can now say that the SEC is no longer seeking their appeal in the Ripple case. Of course we are. Yeah. Thanks. I got up. Are we ready to stand up? I can draw your feet. This is a great that's good for the whole business world. Please do something. About 17 people are in the bay. The SEC sued us 4.5 years ago, which is almost 4 years and 3 months. Without a doubt, it was a painful journey in many ways. But as we said then, there are two things that stand out. I was sure that we would follow the rules and honor history. It was something we said back then, and now that I look at it, I feel like we were right. Another thing I'd like to say is that I recently shared a video on X. One thing I say is that the system feels broken because we had to fight this battle for the business. And the SEC was going after the industry. And specifically in the case of Ripple, no one was hurt. They didn't lose any money. The SEC did not say, oh, something bad happened. They were trying to pick on. They were not being honest, that's all. And thankfully the courts did tell them to stop. But also take a look at this. Now is a time to celebrate. We're on the other side of it as a business, which is good for everyone. We like it for Blockworks. Things look good for Bitwise, which is good for Ripple. So I'm very pleased with it. Good job then. I agree with what you said. It feels like a win for the business and the start of a new era. Does it feel like a new part of your life? Oh my God. Really, I believe the start of the new era came with the resets in both Congress and the executive branch, right? When Trump took office, he put forward Paul Atkins, Scott Bessent, and David Sachs. I mean, these are definitely important people. Sure, there's a little more here as well. Played that before you even saw this video. Check out my most recent video. There is a 15-minute video clip of a talk with Brad Garlinghouse on Bloomberg. I play all three. Just to give you some background, here are a few extra nests. Now go watch that movie. I enjoy the video a lot. Play this for 1 minute and 17 seconds. Brad Garlinghouse, CEO of Ripple, thinks that RLUSD will be one of the top 5 safe coins by the end of the year. This is a big step forward. What do you think the next big thing in safe coins could be now that the US is getting clearer? Anyway, I think we're not letting that get as big as it could. That market is worth about $230 billion now. There are smart people who think that number might go up in the next 5 years. That seems likely to be true. I think that both Tether and USDC, which are the two biggest players, will do well in that market. We put out our own fixed coin at the end of last year. As of now, that's already ahead of what we thought would happen at this point in the year. We're still small, but RLUSD, or Ripple stablecoin, is supposed to be one of the top 5 coins on the market by the end of the year. I also believe the market as a whole will grow a lot this year. How do you get there? Who are you going to pair up with? Are you forming business relationships to help RLUSD become a better known brand? Yes, for sure. I mean, more RLUSD listings went live on some global crypto markets just today. As the saying goes, it takes a moment for that kind of pun to sink in before you can see how it works out. So we can see that happen right now. I'm really happy about that. As I already said, we're ahead of where we thought it would be in Q1. We're really happy with that growth. Okay. I also have a clip of Mikkel talking about how Tether wasn't meant to be a stable coin in the US. I thought this movie went really well with the clip from Brad Garlinghouse. Let me play this. Not at all. I want to quickly move on to the stablecoin bill because we just got some new language earlier today that I think is starting to shut the door on Tether. The first thing we see is that there will be strict rules about what a stablecoin can do in the US. Anti-money laundering, counter-terrorism, all kinds of liquidity conditions, risk management, and other things that are going to be made public that Tether has no desire to do. Will Tether have to change the way they do business in order to work in the US? I don't believe that to be true. In the EU, they didn't want to do it. And it looks like the US will have tighter rules than the EU.